Hello and welcome to the incoming video podcast. This is a show that looks back at my favourite historical miniature releases of the previous week. This is episode 30 and I'm looking back at the releases from the week ending the 15th of January 2010. And as always, I'm your host Neil Shuck. A few more new releases this week on the historical front, and I've got a top 10 for you, plus a couple of extras. So kicking off at number 10, we have some new releases from JTFM Enterprises. Originally this was only going to be one model, but as the news progressed at the back end of the week, we ended up with 3 new releases, each one almost better than the last. So first off, we have this Joseph Stalin 2 tank. This is sculpted by Tony Ashcroft. And then we have another vehicle sculpted by Tony Ashcroft, but this is a German Landwasser Schlepper. A vehicle I've actually not come across before, but apparently was used in Russia, North Africa. Apparently this is one of the biggest models that JTFM have currently produced. It's almost 7 inches long. I suppose it's a version of the American Duck, although it almost looks a bit like a small E-boat with a set of tracks attached to it, doesn't it? An unusual vehicle, not something I've come across before. Talking of unusual vehicles, the final release I put this week is the Neubaufahrzeug, or something like that. It's a German multi-turreted tank, a vehicle I wasn't previously aware of. Looks a little bit like an amended P-38T, doesn't it? Again, sculpted by Tony Ashcroft. This is a tank that was used during the Norway campaign, and JTFM suggests that it can also be used for what-if scenarios for early war Russia and France, and also as a pulp tank. Definitely seems that pulp vehicles, multi-turreted tanks, are fairly popular. A lot of interesting new releases from JTFM this week. On to number 9, and we have a couple of new releases from the Assault Group. Now, TAG started producing a Vietnam range quite some time ago, but these are a couple of models which have been obviously missing from the range. Here we have an MBA HMG group and also a Mortis group as well. Basically, a couple of releases that just round off the set. TAG aren't the best Vietnam War figures in 28mm, but they've got a decent range, and so they're certainly not bad. I know that they're quite popular with a lot of people. They're not my favourites, but pretty nice all the same. Number 8 this week, we have some new releases from Ascari Miniatures. They've released several packs of Cossacks. First of all, you have a couple of packs of Dom Cossacks, Infantry and Command, and then you have several packs of Circassian Cossacks, a couple of command packs, some officers, and then finally a couple of Russian officers as well. Something slightly more unusual for your colonial gaming. Number 7, and we're back to some distinctive sculpting. This from Crusader Miniatures. Actually, they're specifically from Crusader USA. I must admit I didn't realise Crusader had 2 different arms of the company, but this is from the USA collection. It's not available on the Crusader UK website. These are ancient Germans. 8 different packs available, including several packs of infantry, archers, command, plus 3 packs of cavalry. Not a bad release this, as I say, a very distinctive style that Crusader have. As with a lot of companies these days, you'll need to provide your own wire spears. I think to a certain extent Crusader Miniatures are a bit of an acquired taste. As I say, they have their own particular style. So I must admit, I quite like these, although, having said that, looking at them now and comparing them to something like Wargames Factory's Germans, for example, I think it's very debatable which are the better figures. Number 6 this week, we have a new release from Warlord Games in their Bolt Action range. Warlord have been fairly quiet over Christmas. I think this is their first release of the new year. Here we have some British Airborne Jeeps. Selection of 2 different ones here, and I think you'll agree these are lovely. British Airborne Division had a specific version of the Willys Jeep adapted for carrying in gliders, and they used them for recon, communications vehicles, etc. And these are a couple of fine examples of models for these particular Jeeps. Although it has to be said, the one does look like it's carrying a rather large picnic camper on the back of it. But this is a great adaptation of Bolt Action's previous Willys Jeep. Apparently their British powers have proven to be very, very popular. Great addition to any British paratroop army. Into the top 5, and we start at number 5 with an unusual entry in the historical miniatures show, and that's HassleFree. Why am I featuring HassleFree in historical miniatures? Well, quite simply because here we have a selection of 3 different figures. They're kind of modern, potentially near future, but modern troops, or modern figures anyway, but they're carrying contemporary weapons. They're all armed with G36 assault rifles, which is a contemporary weapon. So I thought they probably fitted in better here than in the sci-fi range. But we have three very nice models. We have a mini Kev, we have a new Ashley, and a new Ken, all sporting various styles of helmets and body armour. Always great stuff from HassleFree. Kev White's definitely one of the best figure sculptors out there at the moment, and these will be worth a look when they finally come out. No word on release date yet though. Number 4 and the first of a couple of new releases in the 15mm range this week. This one is from War Modelling. These are, as they call, Caesar Republican Romans, probably better known as Marian Romans, as the figures reflect the legions as organised by Marius. They've released 8 packs. We have 3 packs of legionaries, 3 packs of auxilia, and then we have a couple of command packs. The first featuring a full set of command figures, either for a standard legion or for an auxiliary legion. And finally, you have a command pack featuring the man himself, Julius Caesar, plus another couple of mounted generals as well. Fantastic figures again from War Modelling. I think these are showing that they are proving to be excellent figures, always consistent in sculpting quality, detail, and these are an excellent addition to their Ancients range. And staying in 15mm, just moving forward, in the best part of 1500 years, we have a new release from Legio Heroica. Haven't heard from these for a while, but when they produce stuff, I must admit these are some of the best 15mm figures I've seen. I really like the sculpting style on these, and here we have their new release, which is the Swiss Army. 9 new packs available. I've only got pictures of 8 though, but we have generals, a couple of packs of pikemen, crossbows, arquebuses, artillery, halberdiers, everything you'd expect from a 15th century Swiss army. Again, as I've already said, a great set of sculpts from Legio Heroica. Yet again, another high quality production. Number 2, and we have some new greens from the Perrys. These were featured earlier this week, and what we see are some new releases for their American War of Independence range. And we have 3 French command packs. We have a high command with some nice character figures, and then we have a couple of infantry command packs. Excellent stuff as always in the Perrys. There's not a lot else to be said really. Fantastic sculpts again. But my number 1 this week goes to First Corps. Yes, it's my weakness again for ancient cavalry. If you've been watching the show over previous weeks, you'll know that First Corps have been slowly releasing a complete set of ancient cavalry covering the Greek successor period. And here we have Antigonid or Greek heavy cavalry. 3 packs available, 2 packs of troopers, 1 command pack. You've got standard cavalry, elite guard, fabulous stuff. Great detailing, nice sculpts, bags of character, nicely sculpted horses. Enough said really. Yeah, as soon as I saw them I thought, yeah, they'll be my number 1 for this week unless something really special comes along. And in this particular week, even the Perrys couldn't knock them off. So there you have it, my favourite historical miniature releases for this week. Before I go, I'd just like to thank Bill at the Miniatures page and Zach at Tabletop Gaming News, without which this show just simply wouldn't be possible. And don't forget, you can always catch this show again on Warboots TV. Just scroll to the bottom of the page. All that remains to be said is thank you for watching. I hope you've enjoyed it and you've seen something you like. So until next week, take care, happy gaming, and I'll chat to you soon. Bye.